Okay, Nick, so there's quite a lot of doom and gloom in the media at the moment around recession and what's going to be happening. I'd really like to see your take on, the industry as a whole, of the property industry, and what you think is going to be happening over the next 6 months.
Yeah, good question. So there's a couple of things there, really, isn't there? So the press always like to highlight lots of negatives because that's how they sell newspapers and people tune into the news. But if you look at the data, and the data doesn't lie, and this is how economists forecast what's going to go on, the data shows that in a normal market we turn over about 100,000 properties a year, so a month, I beg your pardon. So in the UK, it's 100,000 people that sell and buy homes, and it's been around 100,000 for a long time. The last time it varied significantly from that was post 2007 with the global financial crash. It dropped right down, and as we've seen through COVID, it dropped down obviously when we were in lockdown because nobody was moving, and then after lockdown it bounced right up to something north of 200,000 transactions in 1 month. But it's dropping back down now to its normal level of around 100,000, and in fact the provisional data for July suggests about 110,000 property transactions, which is more than it was in June, and it's more than it was in June last year as well. So what we're seeing at the moment is the market is returning to some degree of normality, which is a really, really good thing. So that gives everyone confidence and surety about forecasts and how things are going to play out. Because the last thing you want really is massive spikes ups and down because you're busy 1 minute, quiet the next. So coming back to a normal market is really, really good news for everybody because house prices settle down, and we have seen fluctuations, spiking values as everyone rushed to move house after lockdown. That pushed prices up because stock volumes are under restrictions and so on. So having prices that are more stable, volumes that are more stable, means that businesses and our franchisees who run their own businesses can forecast, plan, operationalize their business in a much more considered way, which will enable them to manage their cash flow and revenue generation over time. So, I'm looking forward to probably the next 6-12 months, really, of some degree of return to normality.
Okay. And in, kind of looking at it from an inquiry point of view, and somebody who's looking to take that kind of leap of faith and join the next business for them, or going from employed to running their own business is quite a high risk for them. Why is property a good business to get into, especially in the current market?
Yeah, okay. So, if you think about, do I come out of employment to run my own business and is that high risk? Well, at the moment, there are so many factors that reduce that risk. It's unbelievable. Because at the moment, there's more job vacancies in the UK than there are unemployed people. So if you come out of employment and then you change your mind, you want to go back into employment again, now is the time to take that step because you've got a massive safety net of a huge jobs market available to you. The other reason why it's low risk is, and it always has been the case, if you buy into a franchise versus set up on your own, that's significantly less risk. And as we're seeing, the market is returning to some degree of normality, but there is a slight change in behaviour, which is positive, and that's the number of people who are looking to sell and buy property is still very, very high. So there is a huge demand and appetite for people to move house. So if you put all those things together, you've got a safe time period right now, which is if you do decide to come out of employment, you can always go back again. You've got a franchise structure, which is quite safe if you want to start and run your own business, so that's low risk. And you've got a property market, which is extremely buoyant and is getting back to that kind of pre-2007 level, not pre-COVID, but pre-2007 level, when everyone was riding a wave of nice, solid, reliable, consistent property market. And, if you take mortgage rates, for example, interest rates, they're going up, but what we are now, 1.75%, something like that. So mortgage rates of 2, 3, 4% typically, that's still hugely cheap by long run standards. So the availability of mortgage funding is more important than the interest rate itself. So while banks are continuing to lend and the price is still relatively low, people are able to get mortgages to buy the houses that they want to move to. And if house price inflation is 10-15% a year and your mortgage interest rate is 3 or 4% a year, it's still a great investment. So that's what's encouraging people to continue to move and buy the houses that they want, which is great for us because it always comes back to how many transactions are there going to be?
And with the EweMove model, it's not just selling houses to create that income stream, is there? There's opportunities there with the mortgages that you just mentioned.
Absolutely.
Okay, so with that then, in terms of EweMove as a franchise, and the opportunities is really good. But what you're saying is whatever the market is doing, there's an opportunity there to earn some good cash.
Yeah, there is, and we've been through lots and lots of property cycles, ups and downs, ins and outs, you name it. You know, it's never a completely static feast, but that's the benefit of having a sales business and a rental business, because if the sales business is high, that's great. You can earn some really good money from that. But if the sales market takes a dip and you've got a good managed rental portfolio that you look after and you're earning management revenues from that month on month, you've got a nice, steady, reliable and regular income stream into your business, which eases and smooths out your cash flow. So you can then focus on just finding sales opportunities where you can. So in a buoyant market or a quiet market, it doesn't really matter. It sort of matters, but it's not catastrophic to your business because you've got that rental portfolio that's just keeping an even keel on your cash flow the whole time, which is great.
And what franchising applicants are investing in is an evergreen product that's always going to generate them an income, whatever the market is doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course with the mortgages as well, so we've really got 2 or 3 structures to the business. There's a sales business, the lettings business, and the mortgage business as well. So, you know, you can take a very easy step and just refer mortgages to our own mortgage broker, Mortgage Genie, or with the support of the PLC, our parent company, you can actually open up your own mortgage broking business and become a fully fledged mortgage broker as well. So that's another third and very critical and highly profitable revenue stream that you can add to your business, which is brilliant. So, you know, we're trying to cover as many bases as we can to help franchisees significantly increase their earnings relative to being employed, which you mentioned earlier on. And
it's maximising that opportunity and the income that can be generated. So if someone was looking to invest in a EweMove franchise, just typically focusing on one territory area, you know, in terms of numbers, what could they potentially earn just on the mortgages alone? You know.
Yeah, so mortgages and conveyancing referrals as well. So there's the ability to earn cash from that. So, you know, I always say to new franchisees, you should be looking to earn at least another £1,000 from each property you sell. So if your sales fee is £3,500–4,000 for selling a property, then add another £1,000 onto that for non-core revenue from mortgages or conveyancing. That's at that kind of entry-level mortgage option. If you become your own mortgage broker, then you can be earning an extra £1,000 to £2,000 just from the mortgage and life transaction. Okay. So yeah, some good opportunity to earn some serious cash.
Definitely. Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.